So let's see what the question is. Yeah, got it. So percentage of students, British students able to speak languages other than English. Okay. No other language. And then this gray is Spanish only. 30%, 20%. Okay, the percentages are also given. And this has increased. No other language has fallen down. 15%. This is the same. No. White. White is increased. French only has increased. And another language is, I think, 15 and okay. So clearly you can club your two paragraphs as the ones that are falling down and the ones that are going up. Able to be speak languages other than English 2010 and 2000. Okay.
Ma'am, if we are paraphrasing, we have to paraphrase these things also, like जो figures हैं हमारे पास इनको भी paraphrase कर सकते हैं.
बिल्कुल.
No other language की जगह we can use something ऐसे.
Yes. The chart. तो द फर्स्ट लाइन जो है ना वो तो हमारी प्रेजेंट टेंस में ही रहेगी. That will remain in the present tense. You can say the given pie charts compare. तो compared नहीं आएगा, compare the percentage of British students who were able to speak languages other than English in what is this?
Different.
It's not clear actually. Able to speak languages other than English within a decade. Okay, in a University of England. Okay. Overall is going to be a single word. Do not make two separate words and put a comma after overall. With the difference of a decade, there was not much difference. Difference बहुत आ रहा है नहीं? And you have also written it in a short form. There was not much difference seen in both the years 2000 and 2010. Max nahi maximum, if you want to say maximum, percentage of students spoke Spanish only, which was followed by no other language in 2000 and in 2010 by another language. Okay. Looking at the overview, you're absolutely right. Is it not Spanish? Why did you write French? Why did we say French? Did you say French? No, Spanish. ठीक है.
Spanish.
हाँ ठीक है Spanish. So maximum. So instead of maximum percentage, you can say majority of students spoke Spanish in both the years, right? And over the decade, this percentage only grew. ठीक है. So ये तो ठीक बताया आपने. And no other language was the least, was it? No other language was 20%, but here it was not 20%. It was two other languages that was the least, this 10%, and here they were the same. So no other language. In fact, these three.
I grouped it in first three and last.
ठीक है. That's fair enough. Fine. ठीक है. Okay. The data of 2000 represents that. Do not start with this. Just do not consider data anymore. In 2000. Say it like this. In 2000, 20% of the students spoke no additional language except English. And what is this? And acha. and 15% spoke only French. Now, since these are languages, please make sure that they start with a capital letter. This is a proper noun. If you do it in a running case, you will lose your punctuation marks in your grammatical range and accuracy. And for these words, 20%, 10%, what can you make them? You can make this proportional language. You can call it 1/5. You can call it 1/10, right? Or you can call it 10 out of, no, 1 out of 10. You have to use some other words, no, when it comes to percentages. There is a lot of scope for trying out new vocabulary in percentages. 15% का ठीक है, you can keep it like this, but 20% or 10% तो you can experiment. Okay, except English and 15, this is fine. Whereas the equal percentage of students spoke German in both 2000 and 2010. Similarly, very good, in 2010, only 10% of the students spoke no other, chota n, no other language, and only French, which was, यहाँ पर हम was यूज करेंगे क्यों, क्योंकि this is past tense, तो हम yes, was the same as only German language students. आपने comparison ठीक किया है, but क्या है problem? Repetition of words. Repetition एक तो percentage word का, तो instead of percentage you can say proportion, right? And you can use these words to say something else. Now further के बाद comma, further in the year 2000, further नहीं, furthermore. Furthermore, in the year 2000, the students who spoke another language and those who could speak two other languages were 15 and 10% respectively. Okay, good. The highest was still Spanish speaking students. Okay, just one correction.
I should use still, or I should highest was the Spanish speaking students.
Highest percentage था ना ये, highest proportion, or the majority of speakers were Spanish. अब एक चीज़ है, क्योंकि आपने in your overview you've mentioned that Spanish is your very important trend that you pointed out right in the beginning. So is it not required that you mention this as your first pointer in your first body paragraph? And you are not...
But then I thought it will like repetition.
No. So you can say it like this: 30% of the students, of the scholars, spoke Spanish, which was the maximum in 2000, and this figure grew to 35% in 2010, which was still the maximum in the next year of consideration. ठीक है, तो कितना एक बिग सेंटेंस भी बन गया और आपका कंपैरिजन भी हो गया, एंड यू आर ऑल्सो जस्टिफाइंग योर ओवरव्यू एज वेल, है ना? सो whenever you're writing a big thing over here, make sure that इसका डेटा जो है immediately आ जाए first body para में, right?
Okay. Overview we can add in the end also.
We can as a conclusion, but make sure,
because while writing in the beginning I am firstly not able to think of an overview exactly, because after completing the paragraphs I feel that I should have written this instead of this. So I was thinking to add it in there.
You can do that, but your overview here, right in the second paragraph, just after your introductory paragraph, must be quite solid. If you want, you can leave 3 lines.
I should add an overview at both the places or only one?
It is important to write it only in the beginning, but in case you want to score a high point in your task achievement, you can conclude your answer as well. Though it is not mandatory, what is mandatory is putting it over here in the second paragraph. But putting it in the conclusion also, which is reiterating basically the same thing, and you're restating your overview in another set of words, it is also okay but not mandatory. But yes, it is scoring to do this.
and we should only write the same point as we've written earlier, or we can change the point.
Mostly the same only, not to change.
If we change the point, then we lose the marks.
Yes, because that means in the initially, I mean, in the first para of overview, you were not able to actually find out what was the overview. So you had changed it. तो sync नहीं है ना? It should be in
Yes,
sync.